Hey, Rideshare Dan here. I have not been driving for a while, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, because my wife is immunocompromised and I can't take the risk of getting her sick. But when I saw that there is a new priority mode on Lyft that's available to drivers in New Orleans, I needed to see what it was all about to see whether or not it was good for drivers or not. Here's what it says in the description. Here is a screenshot from my friend's priority mode that lists hers that refreshes on Tuesdays. Mine refreshes on Wednesdays in my app, but basically, you get 6 hours left until it refreshes. You turn on priority mode to stay busy. You'll have less time between rides because we'll prioritize you over other drivers when assigning rides. You're likely to get more long rides too. Make the most of your priority hours. You'll earn less per ride, but we'll make sure you get more rides so you'll earn more overall. Make the most of your priority hours. Each week you'll get a few hours of priority mode. To keep priority earnings high, we limit the number of drivers in priority mode, so sometimes it'll be unavailable. Priority mode is only available in select areas and isn't available at airports. Here are 5 things that I don't like about priority rides. 1. You earn less per ride. Let's look at the rate cards. The minimum rate is 50 cents less per ride. 100 priority rides means you will be making $50 less than you would have otherwise on those same rides, assuming they're all minimum rides. You are also making 11.25 cents per mile less and 2.25 cents per mile less than you would have been making if the ride was a regular Lyft ride. They say you make up for it by getting more rides, but if you're a good driver, you'll want to work smart versus working hard. Working smart versus working hard. Back when I was doing ride sharing full time, one of my keys to earning success was working smart versus working hard. I would put some time in to look at when conventions were coming to town. I would see what those convention schedules would look like. I would look at what hotels they stayed at and the distance from those hotels to the convention center. I would wake up early or stay out late to catch early morning airport runs when conventions would be ending. Grinding out small fares when demand was low never made much sense to me unless I was going after some incentive where a lot of short fares would make sense. At that point, I would set myself up to try and make those runs. Grinding out more rides for less money is not the best way to earn money, especially when you are more likely to get longer distance rides. If somebody wants to go an hour away and that hour away is 45 miles away, why would I choose to make $38.66 when I could make $45.23 on a regular Lyft fare? That's $6.57 less pay for the same ride. Gross earnings versus net earnings. I am not sure how Lyft calculates that you will get more rides if you are netting more long distance rides during your time in priority mode. However, if you are getting more rides but making less money, let's consider the costs. Gasoline costs the same regardless of how much money you make. If your car gets 25 miles per gallon and gas is $2 a gallon, you pay 8 cents a mile for gasoline. Priority mode already pays you 11 cents less per mile. And if you get a long distance trip with nothing in return, double those gas prices because now you have to come back. That's now 16 cents per mile of that trip that you've lost from gas. And now Lyft wants to pay you 11 cents less? That doesn't seem like working smart to me at all. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. How often do you drive each week? According to Lyft, again, in New Orleans, it appears that only 6 hours of your driving can be in priority mode. So if you drive full time, that means 34 hours of your driving time will be outside of priority time. This means that they are working you harder for 6 hours of the week for less pay, and the rest of your week, your total rides will be reduced to help others get their priority rides in. So everyone gives more rides for less pay during 6 hours, and then the rest of the time they get fewer pings? That seems like a lose-lose situation to me. A history of reducing driver pay. Both Uber and Lyft have a history of reducing driver pay. Both companies switched from drivers getting a percentage of the rider payment, less the booking fee, and now they both use rate cards to determine driver pay. Both companies switched from you getting your share of the surge or prime time to you getting a flat rate surge or a personal prime time zone, despite the passengers still paying the full other amount. Each time these companies promote a new way to pay drivers, it's sold as being another great way for you as a driver to make money, and each time it happens, drivers make less money. So Lyft is now trying out this new way to nickel and dime drivers. And because it is being tried in select cities currently, it will only expand if enough drivers opt into it to make it successful. So my suggestion is this: simply don't opt in. If enough drivers avoid it, they won't expand it to other cities, and potentially it will die on the vine. So what do you think? Do you agree with what I've said about priority mode? Do you think it's not a good deal for drivers? Have you had an experience with this that differs from what I've said? Do you think that it's good for drivers, or has it been good for you? Let me know in the comments, and please remember to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel as well. And please remember that during this time of the pandemic, you need to be safe as a driver, so make sure that your passengers are following all the rules, because the last thing you want to do is get sick and stop yourself from making money during the pandemic, and also making other people around you sick as well. So again, thank you very much for watching, and you have a good night. And please, again, be safe and be healthy.